What do we know about Ireland? We know that it's one of the biggest countries in the production of potatoes and also it forms a great part of their diet. But what would happen if we suddenly remove these potatoes from the equation? Well, this happened through 1845 and 1849 with the Great Famine in Irish history. Most of the potato crops were destroyed due to a late blight, which led into millions of Irish people to emigrate, mostly to the United States. This journey wasn't easy because most of the ships that were used to the emigration were overcrowded, and this led into multiple deaths of the Irish people due to hunger or the lack of conditions in the ships. Now that we know what happened in the Great Famine, let's talk about John Behan, who was commissioned by the Irish government to make a monument in honor of the Great Irish Famine of 1845. And he mostly used copper to do it. And in this memorial, we can find some probable texts. We have some architects that would be the skeletons, the ship, overpopulation, and a rustic vibe.
The statue itself is a big ship with skeletons as its rigging, and it is called the Famine ship. The skeletons represent those who died on the way and the pain and loss and suffering of those who lived.
And we can find also some intertexts. We have an illusion of the ship being made of wood. We have the ship's conditions, which are old and musty, as we can see, and an illusion of the death with the skeletons. And these skeletons represent all the Irish people that died tragically to this emigration. We also can find some different paratexts, which could be the skeletons flying around the ship, the death by famine in the ships, and skeletons everywhere that can represent the overpopulation in the ships.
This is Ireland's largest bronze sculpture, and it depicts the victims of hunger and disease aboard the coffin ships. Ships full of immigrants looking for a better life. Sadly, many of them would die on the way. It is actually said that sharks would follow these coffin ships because of how many bodies have had to be thrown overboard.
Okay, so for the signs, we have mainly the boat and the skeletons. Starting by the boat, we can say that it has a very particular appearance, which is old and musty. And on the other hand, we have the skeletons that are a clear index of death, because when these people were going through this horrendous event, they were starving to death, so that's why they are represented by skeletons. And also, another sign we can see in this monument is the fact that the skeletons are around, kind of flying around the boat. So that's a way of saying that these boats were pretty overcrowded and with such a terrible quantity of people. And for the last thing, it's the color. This kind of bluish color, we can say that it transmits to the people kind of sadness and this bad feeling that all this monument represents.